Hi YouTube! This is my very first YouTube video ever, so bear with me. This is the Graco Ready2Grow sit and stand stroller, and I've been wanting to do a review on it because I really like it, and I wanted to share with everybody how great this stroller is. If you're thinking of getting a double stroller, if you're going from one baby to two babies. So I have a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old. And when I was researching strollers, I really liked the sit and stand option because my toddler likes to run around, and if we were going places where he could walk, then he could hop on and hop off. I really liked that, but I was concerned that we would be out at a mall or going for a long walk, and I wanted the option to be able to strap him into a seat so he'd be nice and comfortable, and I thought that the little bench at the back might not be the greatest for that. So that was when I came across this Graco stroller. And what makes this unique and different from the regular sit and stands is that it has this little seat right here, which is really great. So when I first brought the baby home from the hospital and she was in her bucket seat, I would put her mostly up here, which is really neat. The bucket seat sits right up here so that when you're walking with the stroller you can face the baby. And then my older child, my toddler, would sit up in the front right here. And it has a 5-point or a 3-point harness if you want that. We don't usually use that with him, but it does have that option if you need to strap them in. It also has the option of putting the bucket seat right on the front here. You just recline the seat and it clips right on into the tray. That's a Graco bucket seat. I'm not sure if the other ones work or not, but I'm sure you can buy a converter set if you need to use a different type of bucket seat. And if the baby was in the front on the bucket seat, then this little seat would come off and then my son could sit or stand at the back. So that was how we used it for quite a while until my daughter outgrew the bucket seat, or if we wanted to go for a walk and didn't want her to be strapped into that. That's when this little seat comes in handy. So you just flip this piece right over. It has a headrest, it has strap protectors. The baby sits right in there. It's really nice and cozy for them, really comfortable. Once they have good head control, that seat works really well. It doesn't recline, so they are sitting quite upright, so you want them to be able to sit up nice and straight. And then my toddler would sit at the front, and that seat, like I said, does recline so that if your older child wants to take a nap, that will go back as well. Some people, I've heard complaints that you can't really access the basket underneath that well when this little seat is on, which is true. But you can push this seat forward. You can get in there from this way. The little bench does flip forward if you need to access that. So it's never really been a problem for me. I would just usually, before I put my son in, push this forward, pop the diaper bag in there, and then put it back. Or hang it over the handle. So now that my baby's a little bit bigger and my son really likes the sit and stand part, at first he didn't really know about that, so he was happy to sit at the front. Once we got him used to using that, he really likes it. So I'll set this over here and show you how the little seat just pops right out, or try to. So I don't know if you're able to see that, but it comes out really easily. It just clips on right here. There's a snap, and then right onto here. So it comes on and off really easily. This tray, the parent tray, also comes off right here, and this tray comes off completely, which can be helpful for storing if you have a smaller car. So now it's more like your basic sit and stand. So my older child can sit at the back. It has a 3-point harness. This seat does flip up right here, so you can access the basket really well. So he sits there, stands there, or kneels there, and then my older or younger child goes in the front, and it's really good. Some people have complained that the bench part or the seat part on the front seat is kind of short, which is true. If you have an older child or a taller child, it might not work that great. My toddler's not that tall, so it works fine for him. He fits in there no problem. His feet sit on the little bench. So that's how we use it now for the most part. and it works really well. It's quite light. It steers better than my regular travel system stroller. It's not a whole lot longer. I've never had any problems maneuvering it through stores or through the mall or anything. It folds really easily. Even with the little seat on it, it folds just like this, same as a regular Graco stroller, and then you put it down and then back up. And locks into place. It has a cup holder, double locking wheels at the front, really good solid brake. Yeah, I really, really like it. We use it almost every day. We go on quite long walks. It's really comfortable. Another complaint I've heard people say is that when the older child is sitting at the back, the front seat you can't really recline because it would recline right here into the older child's back, which is probably true, but my babies have never been big stroller nappers, so it's never really been a problem for us. I guess if the older child or younger child did fall asleep in the front, you'd have to leave them up, or the older child could stand at the back or kind of kneel so they weren't in the way. It's never been a problem with us. It fits great. We have a van, fits great in the trunk. I think it would fit in any decent sized car trunk. You might have to take that front tray off. It steers really well. The canopies both come off, so when we used the bucket seat, we took the back canopy off because the bucket seat had its own canopy, so we didn't really need the double one, but now they open really well, and so there's two of them, so they're nice and protected. So yeah, that's the Ready2Grow sit and stand stroller by Graco. It was, I think it runs for about $300 in Canada. I know Sears has it. I just saw it in the catalog, Toys R Us. And I got it in the States for about $200, I think, at Toys R Us, which for a double stroller is really good. And it's really sturdy and really solid, and it moves really well. I don't really have any complaints. Oh, one other complaint I've heard people say is that when they're walking, they kick the platform here, which is true. It just takes some getting used to, I think. So I usually just keep it out nice and far. My husband, when he walks, he kind of stands to the side of it because it steers really well. So that is something that it's there. It's not really a big deal. It doesn't really bother me for day-to-day use. So I think that's about it. So if you're interested in a double stroller, I really recommend this one. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon.